Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneurship Live. We are back today for another great episode. I am Cedric LaFleur, one of your co-founders of BEI. I'm here with my partner and fellow co-founder, Mr. Damian Johnson. How you doing, Damian?
I'm always doing great, Cedric.
Well, awesome. Damian, man, we have so much stuff going on right now. It's just amazing, right?
Yeah.
And audience, we are excited to be here with you again today. I am in the big city of Vicksburg, Mississippi right now. It's probably about that big, really. I think I saw 2 red lights. But I'm in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and Damian is in Uganda, right? Where are you today?
No, I'm in Kenya today, Cedric.
In Kenya. All right. Now he's in Charlotte, North Carolina. But I'm excited to be here with you tonight. We have so much going on, though, Damian. The boot camp just finished a few weeks ago. Connect and Collab just finished last weekend.
Yes.
We all have our own individual businesses. That's why I'm in Vicksburg, Mississippi, getting ready to work with this superintendent and his executive team on tomorrow, and some teachers later in the day. Just excited about some stuff we're doing. So, sometimes people ask, how can we do all of these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always say that there's really 3 things. You have to be very intentional. You have to have great intentionality about what it is you want. You have to be focused, laser focused, in order to do all of these things. And then you have to have that will to win, the desire to win. In fact, Napoleon Hill says it has to be an all-encompassing, pulsating desire to win. And speaking about winning, Damian, by all accounts, from what I heard, Connect and Collab, even though Seti said was not in the room, Connect and Collab was a huge success.
You know what? We were worried because when we found out that Big Seti said was not going to be in the room, we said, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off. Should we reschedule it? But we said, you know what? We put a date out. We're going to stick to our guns. And look, Cedric, let me tell you, it was absolutely amazing. I mean, when I say that Connect and Collab was just phenomenal, I'm talking about even though there were little hiccups here and there, but I mean, people made real connections, absolutely phenomenal relationships. The program ran smoothly. We just had so much value added. We even incorporated some entertainment this go around. And so, audience, listen, we've been telling you about Connect and Collab. If you missed it, you really, really, really missed a good one. And you know what? For the next one, we're going to take it even to a higher level. I already got some more things up my sleeve, but no, it was fantastic. It really was. From the performance to the keynote speaker, the networking, everything just went well, Cedric, and it was just incredible. We missed you, but we had a good time in spite of the fact that you weren't there.
Oh, you ain't missed me that much, then y'all.
No, not that much.
That is awesome. I'm glad you guys had a great time with Connect and Collab. So give us some highlights about Connect and Collab.
So I think that so this time around, Cedric, we took it to the next level by incorporating some spoken word. And let me tell you, our guest poet, Monica Harrison, she did not disappoint one bit. She was absolutely incredible. She delivered 2 masterpieces. And you know what, Cedric, the truth to be told, me telling you about her just wouldn't do it justice. So, and I think I can show you better than I can tell you. So why don't we take a moment to check out a little snippet from Monica's spoken word. Is that cool?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Listen, you can all of the similes and metaphors and still not have enough power to pop the cap off of a generation that's learned how to be content with drip. The only time my grandma's let anything drip is if there was a freeze warning. Are you too cold? Are you too touchy? Are you too concerned about personal and public opinion that you would rather stuff all of your gifts and your wisdom in the box when the whole earth is groaning to meet you? How long will you park your gifts on the back seat when the whole earth and the whole bus needs saving? I pray that even if the wheels on the bus stop turning, that the head reminds the body to use its feet. And may our feet bang the pavement fast enough, strong enough, loud enough to resemble the heartbeat of the warriors that have gone on before us. May we echo the freedom that we found in Christ. May the reverb of our actions begin to make sense and make change and make chains wish that they weren't formed to hold us down, because really nothing can really hold us down. I mean, even our words are swords. That means we can pluck verbs from nouns and destroy present narratives as if it was the past tense right now, right now. See, we all get 24 in a day. And one day those 24 would transform into an obituary. I pray that they don't have enough ink to document all of the deposits that you left. I pray that you die empty, that you leave laughter and legacy, that you leave love and strength. I pray that you find out who you are and what your part is. And whatever that part is, why don't you do it well?
Wow. I got to give up some snaps for that.
Some powerful stuff there, man. That's just was on it. Oh man. All right.
And that's just one little piece of it, man. I had to figure out which piece to pull in, right?
I don't have my towel here tonight, and man, she had me sweating already. All right. Okay.
Yeah, she was great, man. It was a wonderful addition, and I'm telling you, the audience raved about just her work and her delivery and the passion, and it just kind of, it's like she just reached in and just grabbed your heart and squeezed it. So it was great. It was great. And you know what, Cedric, as our keynote speaker, we had Tremaine Thurman. Now, Tremaine has been a guest on the BEI show before. Dr. Nick and I had the privilege of interviewing him. And when we interviewed him, I knew at that time, I was like, we got to bring this brother back. And the theme for Connect Collab, for those of you that don't know, our theme was finishing strong. And we talked about that on the show last week. So the whole theme around Connect Collab was finishing strong. And so Tremaine came to the event, and he brought with him 10 principles to finishing strong. And this was one of those experiences, Cedric, where you just had to be in the room. So I tell you what, just because you weren't here and only because Big Ceddy said wasn't there, we didn't want you to feel completely left out. So I brought a little snippet, just one of the 10 points that he made. So let's tune in and check him out right now.
Okay.
In order for you to finish strong and have a strong finish, you must live your life in segments. Now, keep in mind, the information I'm giving you on today are what I call the Thurman strategy, what I use to have success, but I encourage you to find somehow in some way to live your life in segments. What does this mean? You have to make time daily for the things that matter to you the most. Make time for creativity, making time for family, making time for relationships, making time for your business, for physical exercise, making time for your vocation, why you were placed here on this earth. I like to think about it in these terms. Physically, you need to tithe to your stamina. If you find yourself running up the stairs and you're out of breath, you might need to tithe to your stamina. If you find yourself running around the backyard with your kids and you can't make a full lap, you might need to tithe to your stamina. If you find yourself walking around the mall and you're in your 30s and you need to take a rest break, you need to tithe to your stamina. Also, you need to schedule some me time. That means you tithe to yourself. How often do you actually pay yourself? Do you actually set aside time where you take yourself out to dinner, you take yourself out to lunch, you allow yourself to immerse yourself into a good bubble bath, a good book, a good walk, some good content that just you can have for you? If you're not, you need to do that. Tithe to yourself. Then you need to schedule some seed time. How do we schedule seed time for great success? You want to tithe to your community. So whether that's the local fellowship that you're in, the kids' school, whether it's cleaning up trash on the side of the highway. See, these things bring us to a great finish because what they do is allow us to see that it's all not about me, but it's about me helping others, right? It's about you helping others. It's about what gifts, what talents, what skills do you have to forward the better good of man. People don't know how much, or rather not People want to know how much you care by how much you're willing to do. Okay. Then you need to schedule some soul time, tithing to your soul, tithing to your mind. Are you sowing into your mind? Are you sowing into your will? Are you sowing into your emotions? What books are you reading? What content are you consuming? Take a look and celebrate your wins. Review your goals daily. Assess your challenges. Living your life in segments allows you to see that I don't have much time, but I only have the time that I make time for. Or should I say, you only have time for what you make the time for to achieve the things that are most important to you. Remember this, if you've been graced with even one good idea in your life, if God gave it to you, he's going to make sure that he gets it through you. You got to know that you have to be trusted with the ideas, the content, the information that you're given, because you were here for a purpose, you were here for a plan, and you are here to finish.
Wow, I had to go get me a towel on that one, man. Tied to yourself, tied to your community, tied to your health, and tied to your soul. I love it.
That is a word right there. That I'm telling you, it was really amazing, and I think he really did a great job anchoring in that point about finishing strong. And that was just one of 10. So just imagine how powerful the others were. And for all of those who registered for the event, Cedric, we actually sent out a replay. We're making it available for 72 hours so that they can go back and re-listen again and get their notes and then apply those principles to their life. So that was just one piece of it. But you want to know what else? The other thing about Connect and Collab that was a really big hit is that we brought in a photo booth. And so the audience really enjoyed that. Let me take a snippet here and show you all what the gallery, the photo booth gallery looked like. Look at that.
Okay, all right.
This is the guy. So we had a good fun, and I really got to give a shout out to one of our graduates, Noir Fairley. He engineered all of the picture frames that we used in the photo booth. So it was awesome. But I mean, just nice. To give you some. Sorry, go ahead, Cedric.
No, I said nice.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job, and I'm telling you, he stayed up in the wee hours of the morning getting this done. So we definitely want to support that brother's business. But the way it's one thing for me to sit here and say that the event went well, but you got to hear it from the attendees. So I just took a couple of snippets of some of the comments here so the audience can see. So check this out. So Dr. Titsi Hongwei said this was so good. And Tia said this was cool. Like how we had the opportunities to connect with other folks. People are looking for connection. They're craving for connection right now. But not just that. We had Robert Gordon say that the experience with BEI Connect and Collab was awesome. Thank you for sharing your gems and golden nuggets. So this is what people are saying about Connect and Collab, who came to the event to actually experience it, right? And again, the theme was finishing strong. But also check this out. We had one of our graduates, Kenrick Lins, posted that as a graduate of the first BEI Bootcamp, I can tell you I received and still receive all the support that Damien is talking about, because I did a special presentation to share about our upcoming bootcamp, because as we've been sharing, we've got one more bootcamp to go before the year is over. So registration for the bootcamp is open right now. Kenrick went on to say that they are all in on the growth, elevation, and success of each and every member. And one of our recent graduates, Cheryl Edwards, who you'll have the opportunity to meet shortly, she said BEI has been the best decision that I've made personally and for my business. So I just thought I would just share a couple of those quick snippets just to give you some perspective on what Connect and Collab was. It was absolutely incredible. And listen, the next time you hear us talking about Connect and Collab, register and be in the room. It was great, Cedric. It really was.
Wow, well, that's awesome, Damien. Great highlights from the Connect and Collab. And I'm gonna have to go back and watch all of it myself because just the snippets that I got to see here tonight were just phenomenal. And it's always good getting good feedback. But that's a perfect segue for our show tonight, Damien. We have some special guests that we want to introduce to you tonight. And these guests are graduates of our latest Black Entrepreneur Institute Business Bootcamp. So let's bring them on.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello. Wow. Well, we have a full house. So first we have Mr. Nawar Fairley. Nawar is in the great country of Texas, city of Houston, by the way of Katy, right? We have Mr. Leslie Britt, who is in the Washington, D.C., Virginia area. I think some people, they say they call it DMV or something like that. You know, I don't know if it's not in the country of Texas. I don't know. So then we have Ms. Teresa Cherry Cruz. How are you doing? And I forget the city, but tell me the city again.
Well, I'm in Denver, North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte.
Yep, just up the street from me.
Oh, she's in Denver, North Carolina. I was thinking that she's talking about Colorado. She said Denver. Can't throw Denver on me thinking North Carolina now. All right. And then we have my good friend here, although I can't remember the city either, but Cheryl Edwards Gray. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. Thank you.
You in the city again?
Olive Branch, Mississippi.
Olive Branch, Mississippi, another place that's about that big, Damien.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
How many stoplights?
We have more than 2, like Vicksburg.
Okay, all right. See, I mean, Nawar, look, you know that Olive Branch is longer than the whole city. The word Olive Branch is longer than the city, right? I'm just kidding. So, hey guys, we want you to, you guys are all recent graduates of our business boot camp. So we want you to, first of all, tell us about your business and just give us a little bit about yourself. So I'll start with you, Nawar, since you have the same haircut that I have.
Good evening. My name is Nawar Fairley. I am the creative director and brand specialist for the Lab Design Group. And our focus is to elevate businesses' brands through identity, packaging, websites, logo creation, just that complete identity for a company to help them grow and to separate themselves in their respective markets. I really enjoyed. We've been in business since 2004, so been a long time in the game, but never stop learning. Always geared to push forward. It's been a very, very good experience in being educated by you all, dealing with the BEI Bootcamp, and it has tremendously helped our business because I would say within the last 2 months we have. My confidence has grown, but because I've been able to use many of the different techniques that y'all have given us, that I've been able to push forward and go after clients that in any other sense I probably wouldn't have approached. So with that being said, you know, with the Lab Design Group, as it's continually to grow and we're continually branching out and honing in on our target audience, it has been uplifting, and I'm just so excited where the lab is going and being able to help new businesses as well as businesses that have been in, you know, for years to increase their, like I said, their leverage in their industry through branding. And, you know, many have not took on that experience or even have a know-how. And now I'm able to come in and give them that uplift that they need to put them, you know, in the likes of the Amazons and the Facebooks as far as their look and how their audience perceives them.
Well, that is awesome and wonderful. And that's Mr. Nawar Fairley from the Lab Design Group. Mr. Leslie.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Leslie
Always
Britt,
great.
right here in Washington, D.C. I'm with Leslie Britt Enterprises, and recently just came on as the WAVE, We All Value Excellence Youth Ambassador. So I'm passionate about having kids going into the school system, getting them learning and growing and being their best self, especially at a time as this, where a lot of kids are coming back from being at home with their parents in this COVID season, and they're acclimating to being back into the classroom. Having the WAVE youth leadership principles and the teachings helps each student acclimate back into that environment, helps them acclimate back with the teacher, the other students, and it provides that jump start to getting them back into the learning phase for what they're doing in school. And I'm really passionate about that. So looking at right now, working with schools in the DMV area, helping them, helping teachers help students excel as much as possible in this whole season that's been just, a little crazy for most people. And as people are coming back into it, people are just easing their way and finding that, learning the techniques that we have in the WAVE program are very helpful for the students. Being a part of the BEI has been great. Coming into it, it's been for me, everything. I've learned a lot being a part of this, and coming in with no business knowledge, being able to build my business from the ground level up, it's been very, very helpful. So this has been great. I would highly recommend it for everybody who's out there. If you don't know, you better get on board and get a clue, because this is the place where you need to be.
I love it. Thank you, brother. Miss Teresa Cherry Cruz from Denver, North Carolina.
There you go. Oh, it is a pleasure and an honor to be here and to be a part of this amazing community. I am like the proud CEO of a new developing company called Cherry Cruz Consultants. And what we do is we are committed to working with special educators, design and implement equitable educational programs for children with special needs. And that is my passion, special education, communication. I'm a speech language pathologist by trade, and the importance of communication, especially for children with special needs, is essential. My experience with BEI, like I said before, has been amazing, because amazing is my favorite word. You can't say it without smiling. But it has been amazing because I've transitioned from a retired life to dreaming about how I could do this thing in an entrepreneurial style. So what BEI did for me was push me into the water. I was sitting on the side for a long time, wishing, dreaming, figuring it out. But the BEI community pulled up alongside me, pushed me and challenged me, and made my dreams come a reality. So for me, it's far beyond, it's a priceless experience, one I will cherish, because it has developed me as a person and also making my dream come true. So I would tell anybody, and I tell everybody that, if you want to start wishing, hoping, dreaming, and you really want to be about something, then BEI is the place to be. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Grateful for everything.
That is awesome. And last but definitely not least, Miss Cheryl Edwards Gray, by way of Olive Grove, Mississippi.
Olive Branch.
Okay.
Sandy, you're such a comedian. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. My name is Cheryl Edwards Gray. I am the CEO and founder of Legacy Consulting Group. I focus on personal growth and leadership development for women in the financial sector. I help them achieve both their personal and professional goals by way of one-on-one and group coaching. As Teresa mentioned, being a part of BEI has been an amazing journey. Before coming on board, I was that person that had a lot of information but minimal application. And so being a part of BEI has definitely helped me put processes in place and accountability that has made tremendous movement in my business. So I'm grateful to have graduated from BEI and to have established so many great relationships along the way.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Let's just have a good conversation now.
Yeah. So I want to jump in and ask this question because I think it's good for people to understand the transformation because clearly you all are having results and success now. So here's the question: where were you before attending the boot camp? And so let's start with Leslie.
Before boot camp, I was trying to figure things out. Didn't have a clear direction. Had a conversation with Cedric about it, and he directed me to look into the BEI. And once I did that, that changed everything. Being a part of BEI took me from 0 to 100. I mean, to be able to understand the foundational pieces necessary for business, that was huge. And to have people like all of you leading the way and to say, hey, these are the things that are necessary. These are the things that you need to do to get a successful business off the ground, and just go through the various pieces and parts of, doing things, teaching, and then coming back saying, okay, I showed you, now you do it. That is just something that's priceless. You can't put a price tag on it. And it's something that now it's instilled in me, and for other people I've met along the way, told them about it, say, hey, you know what? I can tell you about it, but this is the direction. These are the people who can help you with it.
Awesome. Thanks, Leslie. Cheryl, how about you? Where were you before joining the boot camp?
As I mentioned, Damien, I had acquired lots of information along the way. Had access to a lot of information, but I struggled putting all of the pieces together. So being a part of BEI just provided accountability that I didn't have before. And so I was just kind of winging it. Every time I saw something that seemed interested, which I now know is shiny object syndrome, just kind of pulled in a lot of different directions, but not really the right direction. And so that's kind of where I was before, but definitely not where I am now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so, so Cedric, why don't we move on to the next piece, because I think they all kind of gave us some perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna ask Teresa and Noir this question. What are two key takeaways that you had from the business bootcamp?
Well, my first key takeaway was about consistency and action. Not to be worried about perfection, because perfection will keep you, frozen. So my first takeaway was consistency. The second one was let go of perfection and move forward. Just do it. So whenever I'm thinking to do something, I remember those things. Just do it. Don't worry about perfection. Move forward.
Yes, absolutely. Love it. And Noir?
I would say mine is compartmentalizing things, not being spreading myself out so thin, and time blocking. So giving myself the opportunity to do what billionaires or successful other graphic designers that I follow, they have the same amount of time in a day. And you all have taught me how to break that down and then organize myself, make use of my time, and so that I can be more effective for my clients. And through that course, I guess you can group that together. And the biggest thing for me personally was being able to look at myself and find what my weak points are. Because many times I'm like, oh, I have no weaknesses. But as you dig deeper and go through some of the skills challenges and things of that nature that y'all put upon us, I realized that a lot of things that were holding me back, I didn't even recognize. But now that I can recognize them, address them, and fix them, it has truly improved on me just as a person as a whole, but also as a businessman.
Wow, well, that is awesome. And here's what I want to say before we go to the next question to our audience. Noir, Leslie, Teresa, and Cheryl are all individuals who bring in lots of experience and knowledge and expertise of their own, right? So it's not like they were coming in just with no experience at all in terms of work history and application, applying things, being successful in their chosen profession. Okay. And so I'm saying this to let you know that they said to themselves, hey, I'm not too experienced to learn new things and doing it a different way. They brought in all the things that they already were great at. All we did is help them then now fine tune some things, right, to help them in their business. And that's really what this is all about. And at the end of the day, you know, Damien, Angela, Dr. Nick, and myself, we are just vessels. We don't know everything. We don't have all the answers. We probably have 99% of the answers, right? No, I'm just kidding. We don't have all the answers, but we are able to leverage our experience with the experience that the boot campers bring in to help take everybody to the next level, because we learn something different in every boot camp. I'll give you an example. Graphic design is not my area, right? That's not my area of expertise. Noir, you know, you saw some of his work tonight, what Damien showed, right? Showed us a different way of how to do some things and how to do them at a whole nother level, just thinking differently. So you're going to learn some things, we're going to learn some things, and together, boom, we're going to add value to each other and rise together. So let's go on to the next question, Damien, because I'll be preaching all night. You're on mute.
Yeah, and you already got the toe, so we know we got to keep you still, Cedric. So Leslie, tell me, what was the most surprising to you about the boot camp?
The most surprising thing I would say is, you know, bringing all of us together with the different backgrounds, and how, you know, even in this environment, being able to learn from each other, learn what, you know, Noir knew that I didn't know, and understand some of his history and the things that he's done that have helped me. Same thing with Cheryl, same thing with Teresa. So it's that whole collaboration, you know, where you hear other stories, but at the same time getting the teachings as well. So I think bringing all of that into the mixing bowl and just stirring it up, it created a beautiful cake. And it's something that, you know, I enjoyed eating, being a part of.
I love the way you said that. You made a great cake. Good stuff. Cheryl, how about you? What did you find surprising about the boot camp?
What I found to be surprising, I think I would have to say the relationships that have been established through BEI. Like, I had an idea of what I wanted for myself personally, but I didn't really think along the lines of the relationships that would form as a result of being in BEI. And not just our core group, but the previous groups for BEI, how they've made themselves available. They've been able to share best practices and encourage us along the way. So I think that was one of the things that I found to be most surprising.
Yeah, because, you know, thank you for sharing that, because what a lot of people don't understand is that what we are building in BEI is we're building a community, right? This is not just about doing a boot camp one and done. We're trying to create an we're trying to create an ecosystem where all entrepreneurs that come through BEI can thrive, and we help one another, we support one another, we show up for one another, we partner up and do business with one another. And that's what community should be about, right? Because we want to see the money circulate, because, you know, as you can see, we are all about elevating mindset, but also money, because we want to see wealth and prosperity in our community. Cedric?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And so Teresa and Noir, you're going to get this question which I always like to hear the answer to this question. So, in 8 weeks, there were some weeks you went, wow, this is good, and oh, it's not too challenging. But then there are some weeks that you go, oh my God, this is going to be challenging for me. So what did you find? And we'll start with Noir. What did you find the most challenging?
Absolutely nothing. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. I would think the most challenging is for me was the time that we had to do, which is what I was looking for. Don't get me wrong, but the what they call it, the training where role play. Well, we had to do role play, and we did it in the sense that we had to, not our own stuff like what we had to sell, but they had, I'm trying to remember which one it was, where, because everybody else is like speakers or coaches. So I'm the graphic designer in the family, and they gave, and Angela gave it at the day of, class, and they was like, let's go. And I'm sitting here like, I don't know nothing about this, but all right, we can do this. And I actually did pretty well to say that I didn't, know about, the student thing and all of that was, tied together, because I'm hearing y'all's lingo. So I'm like, okay, I can use their lingo because I didn't heard them talk about this and talk about that. So all that being said, that's the confidence that was built, even though it had nothing to do with my industry. I was able to deliver, and that, look, they might not have went with the full contract, but I got some money though.
Yes. Yes, you did. And what Noir is talking about, folks, I'm gonna let you go, Teresa. But what Noir is talking about, doing the boot camp, we have a sales simulation. So one night, Damien teaches you how to sell, and then 2 nights later, you have to come back and you have to then sell. So we give you a scenario, and you have to sell through that. Then the next week we come right back with, I teach you how to negotiate and what negotiation is all about. 2 nights later, you have to come back now and you have to negotiate a deal. And you're put on the spot, and it's designed. The way the simulation is designed is to put you really on the spot, because sometimes you may be in a customer in an account or talking with a customer on the phone, and they put you on the spot with, hey, I want to do this. What kind of deal can you give me? What's pricing? And then they want to negotiate with you. So it's putting you right in the fire, and then you figure it out on the fly. And so that's what Noir was talking about. So Teresa, what about you? What did you find the most challenging?
The most challenging thing for me was that I could never get comfortable. Like, I was totally out of my comfort zone for 8 weeks. And every time I thought I had it, I was challenged to another level. So just, being comfortable with being uncomfortable in my learning was the most challenging, because I would be like, okay, so what are we going to do next week? It was always another level of challenge.
Yes.
All right. So you guys, you've heard that, and you've journeyed through this 8-week boot camp. And when we put together the boot camp, we didn't just put it together randomly. We really spent time in our strategic planning meetings, Angela, Cedric, Nicole, and I, really thinking about what would help our boot campers most. And so I want to toss this over to Leslie. And Leslie, I want to hear from you. What aspects, now that you've completed and graduated from the boot camp, what aspects have been the most helpful to you and the most useful now that you've graduated?
Definitely negotiations. Negotiations was something that, I've never looked at from the standpoint when we went through the teaching and all the aspects of what you had to do and just how everything just flows out. So once we did the application piece, I remember I jumped into it, screwed it all up, but I learned a lot from it. And I think that was the beauty of it, was I learned, and I was able to go back, look at the tape later on, and say, okay, now I understand what I did wrong, and now I know how to do it right moving forward. Which I have done it once, and actually made a deal. So, practice makes perfect. So I would say yes. That was my big moment of learning.
Okay. And Cheryl, how about you?
I would say having access to you all as co-founders. I can remember one time in particular where we were going over, I think it was sales. And in our role play, I don't think I did what I felt like was my best. And so I requested a do-over. And so you guys allowed me an opportunity to schedule that time or make time before our next session, for me to do that again. And I think that part is just so important. Like outside of our calls, if we need to connect with any of you guys, we're able to get on your calendar and have that one-on-one time to help us to continue to navigate through this journey.
Awesome.
Yeah, and because I don't want us to run out of time before we really get to have the boot campers highlight this. I just want Noir. I would like you to tell us, something that you find as a win in your business, either from experiences you've had in the boot camp or since you graduated from the boot camp.
Okay. The discovery process that we have dove deeper into, because in the past, like I said, I've been in business 17 years, and many times people are like, oh, what you need this for? And they don't realize is that when you're being educated on different things, sometimes things that you didn't see that were a focus, y'all have made me see that, okay, you may need to focus on this. So the fact of continually asking the question, because in my field, you really have to try to understand what a person is trying to, portray to you. They have a vision, but they don't know how to put it on paper to give what they just have it in their heart, in their mind, and they're trying to get it out. So to be able to ask the question, to continue asking the question. And now one of my favorite sayings from Angela that I'm using now, I'm going to get a shirt, is going to say, well, tell me what that looks like. That's like my favorite saying now. So as I'm, talking to customers, I'm using that to help them pull out of them what they actually see. And that right there, it has been golden in my last, actually my last two negotiation of, deals that I have, closed with some logos.
Awesome. Teresa, what about yourself?
Oh, for me, it was selling. It was my whole concept of selling, and the skills for selling has taken me to a whole level, another level. And like I had shared during, our sessions, is that I didn't have the right concept of selling nor negotiations, but I look at it differently now. And so as I'm putting my packages together, I'm not hesitant to engage in that whole selling process.
Yes, that is just awesome. I love that. And I want to thank each of you boot campers for, one, trusting the process,
Yes.
two, putting the application into your business, right? And that, I mean, you can go to a lot of places and get a lot of information. I think Cheryl kind of said that earlier. You can get a lot of information, but if you never take it and turn it into practical application, then it's just information that you have that's not helping you. So I'm glad that you guys are taking this and putting it into practical application in your business. Again, we're talking to tonight, Mr. Noir Fairley from the Lab Design Group, Mr. Leslie Brett from Leslie Brett Enterprises, Miss Teresa Cherry Cruz from Cherry Cruz Consultants, and Miss Cheryl Edwards Gray, CEG, in other words, with Legacy Consulting Group. So thank you guys for coming on the show. And continue. We're going to continue watching you. Just because you graduated doesn't mean it's over. We're going to continue watching and making sure you're doing stuff in your business. And you all know if we're just a phone call or email away. right? And so feel free to reach out to us. You know, Damien, finishing strong is all about persistence,
Yeah.
right? And in the book, Think and Grow Rich is one of my favorite books. If you never read the book, you need to get the book. I tell you, it's the greatest book ever written outside of the Bible. It's the greatest book that's ever written by Napoleon Hill. There are 4 principles he talks about in this 4 simple steps in the book that he talks about that lead to the habit of persistence, right? And those 4 steps are, the first one is a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. He says it has to be an all-encompassing, pulsating desire. In fact, he goes farther and says that any person can win an undertaking must be willing to burn his ships and cut all sources of retreat. Only by doing so can they maintain a mindset known as a burning desire to win. Now, number 2 is, he said, you have to have a definite plan expressed in continuous action. So see, what he's saying is you can have a plan, but it has to be expressed in continuous action. Otherwise, it's just letters on the page. So number 3 is you have to have a mind that is closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influence, including negative suggestions of family, friends, acquaintances, anybody you think of. It could be Big Mama, it could be Granddaddy, it could be Uncle Bubba, Cousin Skeeter. You love them all. But if they are telling you, sending you negative vibes, and they're telling you that's not going to work, you're going to fail at this, you're not good at that. If they're telling you all those things, you need to cut it off. You love them, but you got to cut them off. All right. And number 4 is a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage you to follow through with both your plan and your purpose. In other words, get around other people who are going to higher places, who believe in dreaming big, who believe in taking action, and surround yourself with those people. You know, it's been once said that you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with. So don't be the average of average people, because average is going to always try to keep you average. And yes, I know Cousin Bubba is your friend. Y'all been together since, y'all were 1. But if he is not going in the same direction with you, then you need to tell Cousin Bubba, I'm going to talk to you later because I have some things to do. I have places I'm going. Those 4 steps are essential for success in all walks of life. And in our business bootcamp, we help you with those 4 elements. Now, we help you build a solid plan, help you clarify your purpose and define your niche. We help you develop that plan, that business plan, and help you with this continuous, logical, sequential action towards its development. We also help you overcome doubt, discouragement. It never goes away if we don't try to make it go away, right? So we help you get over that with our mindset teaching and practical application to build you up in your heart, in your mind, and in your soul. And we help fortify your beliefs by surrounding you with support to help build the belief and break this inertia. So we are continuing this with our next boot camp, which starts Tuesday, October 5th. Registration closes Sunday, October 3rd. So I need you to register. If you know somebody that needs this boot camp, what I need you to do is click the share button, and so that they can register for this boot camp. Don't hold this to yourself and say, well, I don't need it right now. I know that you need it, right? Share it with somebody. God sends things your way for you to be the vessel to help someone else. So I need you to share this information with someone else so that they can get in boot camp and you can sit on the sideline and watch them go to a higher level in their business. Damien, hey, man, it's been a great show tonight. And guests, again, thank you guys for coming on. And now what we're going to do, we're all 6 of us, we're about to go to a whole nother level, folks. So if you want to join us, get on the train and let's go. Because we going downtown and we going to party.
Cedric, that was awesome. So guys, the boot camp is open. Understand that our heart is to serve. We want to see you win. We are committed. We are absolutely committed to seeing you win. And so if you know that you're stuck, and if you know that you want to finish strong, you want to end the year on a high note, get in the boot camp. Registration is open now. You're going to go to blackentrepreneurinstitute.com/enroll. That is how you find the boot camp. blackentrepreneurinstitute.com/enroll. And that's how you find us. So everyone, Noir, Leslie, Teresa, and Cheryl, thanks for being here. Cedric, thanks awesome for being a business partner and a friend and a coach. You all have a wonderful night, and we will see you all at the top. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.